You hear it all the time, right? AI can see the future, predicting everything from the stock market to the weather. But what happens when you unleash those powerful algorithms on one of the most unpredictable things on Earth, sports? Well, that's what we're here to find out. So, that's the big question for today. Can a machine, with all its cold, hard data, really predict the beautiful game? We're about to see what happens when that pure logic runs headfirst into the passion, the chaos, and the glorious randomness of football. All right, let's meet our prediction machine. And we're not talking about some simple little program. No, we're looking at SmartBet AI, a really sophisticated system built specifically to try and find an edge in the wild world of sports betting. So how does this thing actually work? Well, it's not just one brain crunching the numbers. Think of it like a whole committee of experts. You've got different models, Poisson, random forest, you name it, and each one looks at the data in a slightly different way. They all come up with their own prediction. Then, a meta-learner, which is kind of like the team captain, looks at everyone's work, weighs their opinions, and produces one final forecast. The whole idea is that the team is smarter than any one individual. Okay, time to put this machine to the test. Let's dive into our first case study. We've got a League One match, Exeter City taking on Reading. Now, on paper, this one looked like it had a pretty clear favorite, and the AI, it definitely thought so. So, the AI crunched the numbers and came back with a pretty confident verdict. It gave Reading a commanding 55 to 60% chance of winning the match, probably with a 2-1 scoreline. A draw? A long shot. An Exeter win? Almost off the table. The key takeaway here, the machine was confident. But you know how sports go. The script doesn't always play out. The final whistle blows and the actual score, 1-1. A draw. The very outcome the AI had pushed to the side. The machine's confident prediction, yeah, flat out wrong. Okay, let's do a little post-match autopsy here. To be fair, the AI wasn't totally in the dark. It did correctly predict that both teams would find the back of the net. But where it really mattered, big misses. It got the winner completely wrong. It thought Reading would dominate, but the game was actually pretty even. And maybe most importantly, it just didn't give enough weight to Exeter's home advantage, which turned out to be a huge factor. Now, you might be thinking, hey, one miss, big deal, it happens. Fair enough. So let's look at another game, Northampton versus Rotherham. And if the AI was confident in that first match, this time it was absolutely certain. And wow, look at this. The AI wasn't just predicting a draw. It was practically engraving it in stone. A massive 77% probability for a draw. A home win or an away win, barely worth considering, according to the machine. The models were basically all in agreement. And the actual result? A 2-1 win for the away team, Rotherham. This is just incredible. Not only was the AI's most certain prediction wrong, but the thing it said had almost no chance of happening is exactly what happened. A total, spectacular collapse of the forecast. And if we look at the breakdown here, oh man, it is a mess. Winner? Wrong. Total goals? It was 79% sure there'd be under 2.5 goals. There were 3. The likely score? Not even in the same ballpark. It even signaled that betting on a draw was a smart move. A complete failure right across the board. So what is going on here? 2 case studies, 2 massive misses. This isn't just bad luck. There's a pattern, a fundamental flaw in the machine's thinking. We need to investigate what this AI is systematically failing to see. And here they are, the culprits, the AI's blind spots. In both games, it just didn't respect what it means to play at home. It got way too overconfident about draws, and it was completely blind to the human element, things like a key player getting tired late in the game, or a manager making a genius substitution. It was reading the history books, not the story unfolding on the pitch. Let's just zoom in on that home advantage for a second. How do you put a number on the roar of a home crowd, on knowing every blade of grass on your own pitch? For the AI, these are tiny variables, almost statistical noise. But in the real world, as we saw, it's a powerful psychological force that pure data really struggles with. And if you want to see this error boil down to a single brutal number, here it is. The model said there was a 77% chance of a draw in that Northampton game. The actual chance, once the final whistle blew, 0%. That massive 77 percentage point gap is a stunning measure of just how overconfident and how incredibly wrong the model was. So, after looking at the data, the predictions, and the postmortems, what's the final verdict? What are we supposed to take away from all of this? It really comes down to this quote taken right from the AI's own disclaimer. These models, no matter how advanced they get, are not magic. They're built to encode probabilities, what is likely to happen, not certainties. They can't give you guarantees. And that's really the key here, isn't it? We should think of these AIs as amazing tools that can help us understand what's likely, but they are not crystal balls. The real world, and especially the world of sports, will always have room for the shocking upset, the last-minute comeback, and the lucky bounce. The real winner is and always will be uncertainty. And that kind of leaves us with one last big thought. If a super sophisticated AI armed with mountains of data and multiple complex models can be so confidently wrong about something as simple as a football match, what does that tell us about our own sense of certainty in a world that is so much more complex?